तेरे पीछे मैं रात भर जागा, सांस में दबा तेरे पीछे पीछे भागा। काले बादल आसमां पे अब नहीं है, मैं भी अब यहाँ हूँ, तू भी अब यहीं है, क्योंकि तेरे पीछे मैं रात भर जागा, सांस में दबा तेरे पीछे पीछे भागा। काले बादल आसमां पे अब नहीं है, मैं भी अब यहाँ हूँ, तू भी अब यहीं है, क्योंकि
Music is basically ever since I was a kid. I started listening to hip hop and everything, but I never pursued music as a career. But now, to some personal reasons, I thought that music ज़रूर करना चाहिए. And आजकल की जो youth वगैरह है और जो scope है music का पाकिस्तान के अंदर, it's पहले तो बिल्कुल नहीं था, but अब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता rise up हो रहा है, and I thought कि I should give it a chance, to be very honest, कि music पे किया जाए. It's hip hop, it's a little rap as well in between, but it's basically about what I've been through in the past. Because I think in the hip hop and the rap industry, the reason why we go about our past is because other people can relate to it. When you जब आप एक गैदरिंग में बैठे होते हैं दोस्तों के साथ या दोस्तों के साथ, तो आप अपनी कोई ना कोई अपनी कोई बंदा स्टोरी बताता है कि 10 लोग बैठे हैं उनमें से शायद 5 लोग आपसे रिलेट कर पाएं. So I strongly believe that I can tell my story which other people can relate through my music. It's basically about drug addiction, and how a person has suffered and lost their loved ones. And I think it's story basically tells what every other teenager or young man goes through, whether it's a breakup or they miss someone. So it's basically about that. Well, this goes back like way back. I would say 9 to 10 years back. Yes. Basically, one of my family members, my mom, she had to go to Canada for my immigration because I was not 18. I was, I think, 15 or 14 at that time. So one of the parents have to go abroad and have to stay there for some specific time in order to get the landing papers. So my mom left and I started to get into fights. I was all alone at home. I didn't have no one to take care of me, so I was basically on my own. I had the car. I had money as well. Itna zyada nahi, but aise the. No check and balance. And then I started listening to music, rap music. And then I got curious what what joint is, what coke is, all these slangs and everything. So one day I went to a party and then, I tried it. I tried a joint for the first time when I was, I think, 13, yes. And then eventually, I started going to other parties and then I started trying more stuff, alcohol. Then I got addicted to cigarettes very badly. So my mom came back. When my mom came back, then she eventually saw the changes in me as a person, So then she realized that something was wrong. When my landing papers came back, I eventually went to Canada. When I went to Canada, I got into, I was infiltrated with the gang. Basically, Bloods, I don't know if you know that or not, but I was infiltrated with the Bloods. Though I got into gangs and I started dealing with different drugs. I dealt in coke, Xanax was very popular at that time over there. Percocets, yes, it is. Percocets and weed. So these were the 4 main things that I was dealing in over there. Then I got addicted to Xanax over there, and it's a very powerful depressant over there. It's very powerful over there. So in Pakistan, it's very easy. For example, if you go to defense, right? If you go to defense and you're just cruising around with your friends and you're smoking a joint, right? Having beer, it's like 3 in the morning, and dolphin aa jati hai, dolphin pakad leti hai, ya police aa jati hai, wo pakad leti hai. They will never say, chalo thane chalo, theek hai, ye apne ghar walon ko call karo. The first few questions are going to be like, kya karte ho? Ghar wale kya karte hain? If you belong from a strong family. If you belong to a strong family, they will firstly ask you, kaisa se paisa karta hai, ye, wo, chai, pani. But आजकल की generation, like people at my age, or a little bit younger than me, they just straight up say, no, वो उनका कोई काम करवाते हैं, they make a deal with the police people कि we'll do this for you and you provide us with drugs. और अगर हम कभी पकड़े जाएं इसी इलाके के अंदर तो हम आपको कॉल करेंगे और आप उसी वक्त हमें छुड़वा देंगे. When I got addicted to multiple drugs, defense से कोई मसला नहीं होता था. I used to go to the police station when I was out of drugs. And मेरा कोई डीलर ऑफ होता था, I would personally go to the police station और मैं उससे bail उठाता था because they would have drugs in the lockup, which I strongly believe कि एक police station के अंदर there's no evidence room, which I believe, I think so if I'm not wrong. They don't have the evidence room in the police थाना, but they और SHO के टेबल के नीचे पड़ी होती हैं. I know, I knew a dealer. He used to give in Samnabad. He was a dealer of ice. He's been arrested in front of me 7 times. What? With a lot of ice. With a 9C ka parcha kat sakte ho uske aap. But he would pay the police people off right that second. He would have stacks in his dashboard. Just take one stash out, 500 30 nikal ke said they will let him go. Mere samne, in front of my own eye. When I got addicted to ice, tables turned. Every single thing. My choriyan hona shuru ho gayi. I belong from a shukr Allah ka I belong from a well-respected family, but it's not about लोग समझते हैं कि अच्छा इस बंदे के पास बहुत पैसे हैं तो चोरी करने की जरूरत नहीं है तो शिकन नशा करता है. It's not like that. I used to beg, borrow, steal. I used to do a lot of things. I've done a lot of messed up things in order to get my drugs. And I'm specifically talking about ice because ice is world's most strongest stimulant ever made. Aaj tak it's the most strongest stimulant. So the thing is, the person when he does ice for the first time, right? He wants the exact same high the person that he did it, but you're never gonna get that high because your brain mein pehli baar dopamine release hota hai the first time when you do any drug. That's the thing that makes the other person want to do it again and again. And how they get addicted to it, कि वो पहले जो high उससे मिला होता है पहली दफ़ा वो उससे chase कर रहा होता है और वो मिलता नहीं उससे high. So there's this denial in the brain कि अच्छा मुझे वो high मिलेगा, and eventually that's how OD होते हैं लोगों के. So that's how वो excessive करते करते महीने की tolerance बढ़ जाती है, पे एक दिन आते ही tolerance से ज़्यादा कर लेते हो and you overdose and you pass away. This is what happens. When I got addicted to ice, I used to smoke joints a lot, बहुत ज़्यादा. But eventually I just left every single drug. I did not used to drink. मैं joints ही पीता था. अगर मेरे सामने coke भी पड़ी होगी ना, I would not do cocaine. I would just do ice. I would just do ice. The first rehab that I went to, that was because of cocaine. My family took me there. They gave me 2 options. Either you go to this place and get yourself cleaned out, or you go to rehab. So I was like, yeah, I want to go to rehab. So I went there. पहले rehab पे ना तो उन्हें मुझे दवाइयाँ वगैरह दी थी, मैं सो गया. Next day when I woke up, I was craving a cigarette. So I went to the head over there and I was like, मुझे cigarette वगैरह चाहिए. So first उनके ऑफिस में 2-3 लोग थे तो उन्हें इसने नज़र मारी है and उन्होंने basically indirectly लोगों को इशारों से बोले कि अब आप उठ के बाहर चले जाएं. So उन्हें मेरे से डील की है कि आप जो खाना बाहर से मंगवाएंगे वो एक बुक पे लिखा जाएगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, you wanna eat Hardee's और McDonald's तो हम लिखेंगे कि सालिक ने जी एक मील मंगवाया है वो इतने का है. और जब when you check out from the rehab after a month तो वो आपके घर वालों को दिखाया जाएगा. So they said कि we can bring you as many cigarettes as you want. For example, अगर एक डब्बी 200 रुपए की है तो they will be like कि हम खाना लिख देंगे कि McDonald's आया है 1000 रुपए का, तो उसमें से आप 2 डब्बी अपने पास रख लेना, बाकी हम लोग रख लेंगे. Now you see, मेरे घर वाले उनको ट्रस्ट करते हो तो छोड़ के गए थे, right? So this is how it went on. They used to provide me cigarettes over there. So खैर इस तरह की चीज़ें चलती रही, and then I got out. I eventually moved on to ice and everything. हालात इतने ख़राब हो गए थे कि घर से निकल गया था मैं. I was bouncing from one friend to another friend's house. So I stayed out of my house for like 2.5 months. I was wearing my friend's clothes. One of my very dear friends, he took care of me for like 1.5 months. He used to feed me, used to give you money. Used to, yeah, definitely. He's very different till this day, and he used to take care of me. But जब मैं बाहर जाता था और मैं आइस पे वापस आता था, he would used to know, उसे पता चल जाता था कि आइस की भी है. So he would try his level best कि मैं बाहर ना जाऊँ and everything. Then eventually one day he kind of convinced me to go back home. So I went back home and अगले दिन टीम उठा के मुझे एक रिहाब भेज दिया था. उस रिहाब का नाम था एहसास क्लिनिक था. So the day when I went there, basically when I got up after like 2 or 3 days, yes, because I haven't slept for like weeks and months. और अगर नींद मेरी पूरी होती भी थी, क्या ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा 2 या 3 घंटे की होती थी. मैं उठा जी तो उधर एक मैनेजमेंट की हेड थी. शी वाज अ फीमेल एंड आई आस्क्ड हर मैम मेरे कितने दिन हैं उधर, because that's the first thing when every addict that goes to rehab, he is always concerned about कि मेरे दिन कितने, मैं कितनी देर के लिए दाखिल हूँ. So I went there and she said you're here for 8 months. So I got, I started sweating and everything, and I was like, yeah, kya hoega and everything, like, why is this gonna happen? Why so long? Multiple questions started raising out, and then eventually when I started meeting people over there, they told me the real truth about this rehab, एहसास clinic के अंदर मारते हैं आपको, नमाज़ें ज़बरदस्ती पढ़ाते हैं, और ये भी नहीं कि कोई बंदा सो रहा है और फजर के टाइम पे आपको आराम से उठा लेंगे, सारे साथी छोड़ के नमाज पढ़ने. दे वुड वेक यू, दे वुड थ्रो वाटर ऑन यू, डंडे मारेंगे आपको, चुपेड़े भी मारेंगे, शर्ट वगैरह भी फाड़ देंगे, स्टफ लाइक दैट. दिस वाज वेरी कॉमन. अगर आप उधर, इफ़ यू बिकम वायलेंट एंड एवरीथिंग, देयर इज दिस मेडिसिन कॉल्ड सेरेनेक्स. I don't know what's the real cause of the medicine called Serenex, but if you give them a high dosage of Serenex, तो आपके जो मसल्स होते हैं वो अकड़ जाते हैं. So you can't move, you can't stand, you can't eat, you can't basically do anything. It's like you're in a coma, ठीक है? और आपकी थूक गिरी होएगी, आपकी जुबान पर निकलेगी. So this is their punishment. और वो जब तक उनका दिल नहीं होएगा तो वो उसकी एंटीडोट नहीं देंगे आपको. So I've seen a person in there who suffered for 4 days like that. 4 दिनों के लिए वो इस तरह था, और उससे फिर जाकर एंटीडोट दिया था, क्योंकि सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि उसके अगले दिन उसकी फैमिली से मीटिंग थी. सो जब मीटिंग होती है, जब फैमिली से मीटिंग होती है, वो पहले पेशेंट को बताते हैं कि हम सब अंदर होएंगे, अगर आपने कोई इस तरह की बात वगैरह की तो हम आपको बहुत मारेंगे, आपको खाना नहीं मिलेगा, आपको बहुत मारेंगे. वी शिफ्ट यू टू, उनका सबसे ऊपर वाला एक है क्वार्टर सर्वेंट, हम आपको उधर बंद कर देंगे, खाना भी आपको वहाँ मिलेगा, हर चीज़ वहाँ की. So the person doesn't, obviously उसका फेयर होता है. It's basically a gamble to tell your parents in front of the staff कि होएगा, और अगर आपकी फैमिली ना लेकर जाए. This is exactly what they do. What their strategy is that they give you the wrong medicines, जिससे आपकी भूख ज़्यादा होती है, and you eat a lot and then you become really fat. So they do this बहुत ज़्यादा, I don't know the medicine's name, but this is what they do, and excessive दवाइयाँ देते हैं. So when you become fat, then they make you meet the family, and वो family सामने कितना पीते होंगे. And it's just very बहुत अंदर. I've seen people who are like 60-70 years old who can hardly walk, and they would just kick them downstairs. And उनके जो हालात हैं washrooms के, the way people sleep, the food. अब जब एक रोटी बनती है तो you make it fresh, right? You roll it up, you put it on तवा and everything, बनती है. What they do is कि वो पुरानी रोटियों को आटे के अंदर मिक्स करते हैं, and they make us eat that just to save money from that. तो physical torture था वहाँ पे, जो मारते थे या जो दवाइयाँ आपको ज़्यादा देते थे, which would make your muscles stiff and everything, कपड़े फाड़ देते थे. That's nothing compared to the mental torture that they used to do. They used to, हम सबको लाइनों में खड़ा करते थे, and हम कुछ करते भी नहीं थे, और हम पे चीखा जाता था कि तुम्हारे घर वालों ने बोला कि भाई फारिंग हमारी तरफ से, नशई हैं, नशई ही रहेंगे, एंड योर पेरेंट्स डोंट लव यू एनी मोर, इसलिए तुम्हें इधर छोड़ के गए हैं. एंड a lot of harsh things that I can't say over here. गाली गलोच बहुत ज़्यादा होती थी. So eventually a lot of years passed by. 2-3 और रिहैब्स के, कोई अच्छा था, कोई बुरा था, कोई ठीक था. But one day I woke up and someone very dear to me, very close to my heart, convinced me to go to a rehab. So I went to the Pakistan's best rehab, Willing Ways. It's a very good place to get yourself checked in for rehab. Staff, आपसे अगर मेरा नाम सालिक है, they will never call me Salik. They call me Sir, Salik साहब. So be very, very humble. अब रिहा वाले इस डिफेंस में आपको मार भी सकते हैं, but no, they would not harm you. वो आपको रोक देंगे. अगर आप उनको मारोगे तो वो तब भी अपने आप को मार खा लेंगे, but वो रोकेंगे. अब बस बंदे को calm down करेंगे. I recovered उनके जो हैं डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर सदाकत अली. He's a specialist. He has, if I'm not wrong, he has experience over 40 to 45 years of dealing with addicts. So there are some things that I do disagree with him, but eventually उनकी जो majority चीज़ें हैं, they're on point. He knows what he does, he knows what he says, and he knows कि भाई ये बात सच है. Yeah, so I stayed there initially for 100 days, 3 months and 10 days. मेरे दोस्त भी आए थे. They allowed my friends to come and meet me there as well, since they were also a part of to bringing me to Willingwoods, and someone who was very dear to me, जिस वजह से मैं गया था, she also used to come over there and used to meet me. So this was it's a very healthy. The food is very nice. The very good thing about this is कि खाना उनका इतना साफ सुथरा, इतना अच्छा है कि जो हम लोग पेशेंट्स खाते हैं अंदर, वो ही डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर सदाकत अली अंदर खाना खाते हैं. So if you're having lunch at the same kitchen, Dr. Sadakat Ali would be having lunch, the same food that we're eating from the same kitchen. AC is provided over there, TVs are provided over there. Initially when I went there, I was like, yeah, it's sab jhoot hai, ye jo bol rahe hain, it's just brainwashing people. So I think for every addict, हमेशा the reason why people move to drugs is either family में कोई issues होते हैं, mom, dad, divorce, separation, toxic environment, their loved one leaving them. I've been through all of that as well, and my friends who are addicts right now, they've been through that as well. But I would strongly believe is that it's never too late to stop, because I've seen people who say, hey, it's been like 8 years, यार अब कोई फायदा नहीं है, जिंदगी यही है. जिंदगी बहुत ज़्यादा आ गया. There's much more to drugs. I understand it's very hard. Life in start becomes very dull. कुछ करने के लिए नहीं होता. You don't get that high. You feel like a normal person. And after environment change, or like your habits change, you don't go to parties, you don't cruise around your defense for like 3, 4 till the morning. I understand that. But eventually you will become much better mentally and physically. And eventually the people who left you for your drugs and everything, much better people will enter your life and will stay there regardless of whatever happens in your life.